Hi, thanks for joining me today, Tuesday, March 29th, 2022, for our Power of Prayer moment. Today's title is A Current of Prayer. The verse is Acts 6:4. It says, "We will give our attention to prayer and the ministry of the word." This is the apostles speaking when they were approached by some of the other disciples around that the widows, the Hellenist widows, were being mishandled or not getting what they needed to receive. And so they came to the apostles about it. And they said, listen, we need to do something different because we've got things we need to do in regard to ministry and prayer that take our time. And so we need to come up with a situation or a way to handle the problems that are arising rather than just coming to us about it. And so they said, listen, we got to pray. Prayer is our most important task. And sometimes we forget that. We put, oh, we got to go do this. We have to go do that. We need to meet this person's needs and we need to meet that person's needs. Well, it's kind of like the airline stewardess when they're telling you, the flight attendant saying, when the mask drops down, put yours on first. You can't help anybody else until you have your mask on. Same thing. Prayer. We have to pray. We have to be people of prayer. And so he says, E.M. Bound does, prayer must be incessant and should not lack the desire, spirit, or action. The knees may not always be bent, but the spirit is always in the act and communication of prayer. I think Paul says, pray without ceasing. That means we're always connected with God in our thoughts and our attitudes. We're always communing with Him, regardless of what's going on around us and regardless of what we're involved with. Where our hearts and minds are always connected with Him, so that our communication, speaking to, listening to, that communication route is always open. Doesn't mean we're always on our knees. Doesn't mean we're always in church praying, and it's just wherever we are. It ought to be a natural flow of prayer. Doesn't mean that we wait until we have a great big need. Whatever's happening in our life, God's concerned about. And He wants to talk with us about it. And we should want to talk with Him about it as well. It says the spirit of prayer should sweetly rule and adjust all times and occasions. If there's not time for prayer, there's not time for anything else. That's basically what he's saying. Our activities and work should be performed in the same spirit that makes our devotion and our prayer time sacred. Our prayer time, our work time, it's all connected. Our family time, it's all connected. Our worship time, it's all connected. And so we ought to always be connected to God through our prayer life, through our inner prayers. Doesn't mean we're always going around talking out loud to God, but we're always connected spiritually to God. Blessed is the person of God who thus understands prayer at any point, at any time. A full current of prayer is seen flowing from him. You know, when you go to a room and the room is dark in our day and age, we have light switches. Of course, they're moving away from light switches to just telling somebody or something to turn the lights on, but the current flows to the switch. And if the switch is in the off position, that's where the current stops. But when you turn the switch to the on position, the current then traces through the wires and immediately the lights come on and the room is lit. God is like that current coming to us. We either turn the switch on or turn the switch off. We control that. And so we want to keep the switch on so that the current of God's Spirit is flowing through us and lighting the world around us. And He does that by us being connected with Him through our prayers at any time, at all times. Dear Father, I want my spirit to always be bent to You in prayer, even when I am not on my knees. At all times, be bent towards the Lord in prayer. Yes, let Him have His way and be connected with Him at all times, in all ways. You be a blessing to others, and you'll be blessed. See you tomorrow.